Welcome to The Sound, KQAL FM's weekly behind-the-scenes look at Midwestern-made music. From writing and recording to distribution and promotion, The Sound is your source for new releases and exclusive interviews from Midwestern artists. Support for The Sound is made possible by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Rolling.
Known for rockin' and wheelin' and getting in your feelin's is the one and only driftless personality, Unicycle Michael. Believe me when I say every song from his latest album, Dancin' Around, hits pretty close to home. Maybe it's because he's from just across the river in Wisconsin. But if you ask me, I think it's his sarcastic humor and bona fide honesty that can speak to something everyone can relate to. His songs cover an eclectic bunch of subjects, from dancing through life to being hooked on cigarettes. Whether you catch him doing sick tricks in the skate park, displaying his artwork, or just jamming out on stage, it's hard not to wonder who the heck is this triple threat. Luckily for you, you're about to find out. On our show tonight, we are taking a dive into his interests, inspirations, and endeavors, so sit down and listen in to break your daily cycle. We're going on the air now with Unicycle Michael.
Life's dance ain't no competition. I love it when I see the homies all grinning. You and I together keeps the world on spinning with them funky moves. When you're rocking to the rhythm, homies going hard, about to dance all their socks, doing moves like the worm on the robot. Yeah, we go hard. Yeah, I'm talking about my crew. Hit the dance floor now. You can see what we can do. Spinning so fast, you think she was a top. Yeah, he goes all night, cause the music never stops. He drops down, no matter the fit. Does the Macarena hook and poke it down to the slits. And we keep on going till the juice is gone. Keep the rhythm rocking till the break it down. And we keep it on till the juice is gone. Keep the rhythm rock till the very break of dawn. Keep it on till the juice is gone. Keep the rhythm rock till the break of dawn. And we keep it on till the juice is gone. And we keep the rhythm rock till the very break of dawn. Life's dance ain't no competition. I love it when I see the homies all grinning. You and I together keeps the world on spinning with them funky moves. When you're rocking to the rhythm, homies going hard, about to dance all their socks, doing moves like the worm on the robot. Yeah, we go hard. Yeah, I'm talking about my crew. Hit the dance floor now. You can see what we can do. Spinning so fast, you think she was a top. Yeah, he goes all night, cause the music never stops. He drops down, no matter the fit. Does the Macarena hook and poke it down to the slits. And we keep on going till the juice is gone. Keep the rhythm rock till the break it down. And we keep it on till the juice is gone. Keep the rhythm rock till the very break of dawn. Keep it on till the juice is gone. Keep the rhythm rock till the break of dawn. And we keep it on till the juice is gone. And we keep the rhythm rock till the very break of dawn.
That was Dancing Around, the title track from his newest EP, Dancing Around. Tonight, we have Unicycle Michael on the phone with us. How are you doing, Michael?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Awesome. Remind me, do you go by Unicycle or Michael?
I guess if we're going shorthand, Michael would work perfectly.
Awesome. Now, I think one of the best ways to get a feel for who you are is to start from the beginning. So, where do your roots in music come from? When and how did you develop this passion for what you do?
Oh man, that's a big question right there.
Thanks.
I feel like as a kid, I grew up in going to church and kind of listening to church music a little bit, but I'd say when I really started maybe getting it more personally, where I got into it, would be I started doing piano lessons when I was 7 years old.
Cool.
And my brother was in guitar lessons, and I wanted to do guitar lessons, but my mom's like, no, you got to do piano lessons first. So I did the piano lessons, and it was funny because I can remember really far back. I remember the Lilo and Stitch movie came out when I was a kid, and I had this little guitar that I'd kind of pretend like I could play, but I couldn't really play it. But I feel like that's the beginning of learning to do something, is pretending to do it at least.
Right.
So I started doing piano when I was 7, and I wasn't really all that motivated about it. And I took lessons for a while, but it wasn't really where my heart was. But when I was in school, I did orchestra where I played the double bass. I did band where I did some percussion and whatnot. So I kind of dabbled in a lot of different things, but I feel like the passion really took off when I was about 16, 17. I started playing bass a little bit, more like an electric bass. And I had some friends, and we started jamming and playing, drum set with bass and guitar, and kind of like a rock band setting. I feel like there's something about that really ignited something in me. And so I kept on playing bass, and I even played bass in a band for a while, the Blue Ridge Band. But then eventually it's like you're playing bass, and I was watching the people around me. I'm like, oh man, I want to kind of maybe take the reins more on this. So started getting more into guitar, and eventually started to get to a point where I could sing and play, which is really the big jump. And then it just kept on stacking on. I just kept on wanting to pursue it more and more.
That's awesome. I mean, you sound like a jack of many trades. You've dabbled in quite a few instruments from what it sounds like, which is awesome. So it's good to hear all that background, because it really helps us form a picture of who our artist is. So now that we've kind of gotten into the Michael part, I am wondering, how does that unicycle come into play?
So I started riding the unicycle when I was probably about maybe 9-10 years old. So really, I've been riding that thing for more years than I haven't. So I continue to ride that around as a form of transportation, but I kind of see it. I think a lot of people want to compare it to say a bicycle, but I think it's more kind of like a skateboard, where I like to hot curves with it and
sick.
Kind of do tricks like that, I guess. And I've even gone as far to take on mountain bike trails or ride up Bliss Road in La Crosse up Granddad's.
What?
So it's just
that's intense.
It's kind of just its own little thing where I like to kind of just take it in its own direction, I guess.
Wow. I never thought of a unicycle as something so daredevilish, That's super cool.
Oh, thank you.
You go to skate parks and ride it around and hop things, and I don't know all the terms, but that sounds super cool.
Yeah.
Well, on the topic of wheels, let's keep rolling with our next song, Baby Kisses. We are talking with Unicycle Michael about his latest EP, Dancing Around.
Kisses are sweeter than wine. Oh, I want you to stay now. Stay for a minute, maybe an hour, maybe all night. Since you've been gone now, really been missing you and your kisses, love all the time. Oh, I want you to stay now. Stay for a minute, maybe an hour, maybe all night. Wish you never had to go away. Wish that you could have stayed. Wish that we had one more day, just so I could have spent it with you. Baby, your kisses sweeter than honey. Baby, your kisses are sweeter than wine. Oh, I want you to stay now. Stay for a minute, maybe an hour, maybe all night. And I was like, oh baby, you make me feel all funny when you scratch my back and you rub my tummy. Even on days that make my nose feel cold and running, you make me feel on nice side, happy and sunny. Rain's pouring, wind's blowing through my hair, but somehow I'm walking here without a single care. As we walk through the rain and all them puddles, as we get inside, we're gonna have some snuggle. Baby kisses sweeter than honey. Baby kisses are sweeter than wine. No, I want you to stay now. Stay for a minute, maybe an hour, maybe all night.
Welcome back. That was Baby Kisses. We are talking with Unicycle Michael about his latest EP, Dancing Around. You sound like a fun guy, Michael. I'll be honest, one with lots of personality, which is awesome. I do a good deal of research before I interview artists. It's a rule of journalism. Always know who you're talking to. It's a good rule. So looking at a few of Unicycle Michael's social pages, I often saw the title Driftless Personality. Could you explain for me and the audience maybe what that title means to you and where it came from?
Yeah, for sure. So with what I do, you see my name, Unicycle Michael, and I think a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you ride a unicycle, which I do, but I think it gets kind of confusing when I do a show where I also play music, or another thing I'm involved with is I make visual art too. So wow. I think that the term driftless personality, I think it kind of like sidesteps this idea of trying to pigeonhole what I do or put it in a box and say, oh, Unicycle Michael does this, where it's like I do a lot of things, but I think they all kind of tie together in their own way, where I think they're reflections of who I am, and I think there's definitely ways that they kind of fit together too. Definitely. Another example would be I do all my music videos. I don't necessarily film all the shots, but I like do all the editing. I kind of have the idea in my head, or same with merchandise, where I try to like design those things, and it's all just coming from me. So I like that term driftless personality, where I feel like it's very open-ended, where it's like not too committed to one thing, but more a holistic, like all those things, I guess.
Yeah, totally. With so many things going on, you can't put Michael in a box. So about like all of those things, there's personality in all of that. How do you bring your personality into your musical performances?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny, where I think that a lot of my music has kind of turned into this like inside joke, where it's kind of like something that I got going on, where I just keep on kind of running with it. And I guess like how I see it is I take goofing off really seriously, Where when I make music, it's like I'm definitely trying hard to make the music, but it's like it's silly. And not to say there isn't serious too, but I guess like I want people to have fun. And the other thing I really care about too is I want it to be kind of like surprising and maybe even like shocking, where I want people to be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, where I want to like really catch people like that. So I'd say that's a big part of it. I try to, whenever I play shows, I try to really like, I guess, talk to the audience and try to create that like community or that bond, because I think that there's something really special about live music where it's a place where we can all hang out, and you could either be up there dancing with the music or you could be in the back talking with your friends, but I think there's something for everyone. So definitely a attitude of like inclusion within that.
Well, you say you designed the shirts. I think one of the quotes you should put on there is, I take goofing off very seriously. That's one of the best things I've heard.
Oh, thank you.
You know, switching to a totally kind of related topic, but how do you record? And as you're recording, do your tunes ever evolve?
So what so with recording music, I consider myself like very novice to intermediate with that, because I think that's a very deep practice where it's one of those things where I feel like I've realized how little I know the deeper I get into it. But what I do is I'll use GarageBand, and I'll work from there. So that's what I've been using. I definitely think a lot of my songs kind of evolve even before they even get recorded, where I think they, like a lot of them, it's like they start off as an idea or maybe just a little phrase, and then maybe they turn into a song. Then maybe you play that song so many times and it starts to kind of change, or maybe the words change a little bit, or maybe you add on a section or something like that.
Yeah.
But then I think it's funny where sometimes after I've already recorded, sometimes the song will even change after that, the way I play it live. And I totally like, I guess, welcome that, because I'm not super obsessed about the recording sounding exactly like the live version, or vice versa, where I kind of want it to have a novel freshness. And going back to what I said earlier about I want to kind of have that, like, I want people to be surprised. I want them to not know what's going to come next. So I welcome those little nuances.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a very interesting process, because I feel like early on when I'm writing a song, I try to really open myself to whatever comes, where I try to not be committed to like a song sounding a certain type of way. And then I feel like once I get what the idea of it or the main bits of it, then I kind of let it like find a form. And it's definitely an interesting process. And it's just, my process has definitely changed throughout the years as I've written more songs.
I really liked what you said about how you're kind of more of a go with the flow guy in the moment, you know, and when you're not really focusing on those details, like for people and like in the audience, it's like every show they come to of yours is like a different show each time, when you're kind of just leaving it up to the wind, you know?
Yeah.
Now moving on to a song you won't want to miss. Its title name is Dubious. Welcome back. Wasn't that awesome? We're talking with Unicycle Michael about his latest album, Dancing Around. Now, Michael, do you ever think about genre when you're writing, or do you just let the songs go where they want to?
That's a really good question. So I feel like I think about genre a lot, but it's not necessarily that I'm trying to like write a specific genre or something. It's more that I'm trying to like think if there's a way I could really define what I do into a genre. And right now I don't know if there's like a clear cut way I could say that really neatly.
Right.
But I don't really lose sleep over that. And I guess the way I see it is I let things sound the way they do, and I don't try to make them sound a certain way. But I do have to say, I think that a lot of my songs are definitely a funk element, definitely a jam element, where when I'm live, I like to have extended instrumental sections where we just kind of like let loose when I'm playing with the band. But that's a tough one, because I've definitely when I listen to music, I listen all over the board. So I think that a lot of that kind of shows through in my music. And too, I think now living in the time period where we do with the internet, with Spotify, I think we're just like thrown at with so many different I think we just are given so many more choices, I guess, in that way than we ever were. So I just kind of go with it, where I don't try to sound like a genre, but I think that if I describe myself by genre, it would be somewhere along the lines of like psychedelic funk, DIY, funkadelia, psychedelic rock, kind of along those lines. But it's kind of a tough one, because I think that a lot of the genres, it's I don't know if there's really a whole lot concrete. It's more just kind of up to how it's interpreted. So I definitely play along with that idea a lot.
Right. Well, speaking of kind of, I like to say I have a bipolar Spotify playlist. It's all over the board for me as well, so I totally get that. What artists are you inspired by recently? What's on your player now? What did you listen to today?
Oh man, that's a good question. So I'd say like I've been like heavily listening to a lot of James Brown recently. There's something I like about his music, where I feel like it has this like drive, and the repetition of it, where I like listening to that kind of music when I'm like doing a task where I got to work through, where it's just kind of in the background. I've always been a huge fan of the Grateful Dead, probably my biggest, my favorite band ever. But in a way, I feel like the Grateful Dead and James Brown, it's like they're kind of like opposites, where James Brown, like super tight, where I've even heard stories about back in the day, they'd say that at the end of the night, the musicians, he'd go to all of them, and based on how many mistakes they'd make through the night, he'd like charge them like $10 a mistake. Where I think the Grateful Dead's on the opposite side, where every single one of their shows was a totally different show.
Yes.
So there's something I definitely find inspiration in that. I definitely like some more contemporary music as well. Like I've been listening a lot to Remy Wolf lately, Doja Cat.
Yep. Totally.
I don't know. I even like stuff that like I guess I'm not ashamed of, like, I don't know, like Harry Styles type stuff, or I definitely listen to a lot of the Chappell Roan, where I find myself kind of all over the board, and two, I feel like at this point in time, I've really, I guess, let go of the idea of being like, oh, that's cringe or this or that, where I think there maybe it's like a certain cringeness about all of it that makes it cool, or maybe it's like the I don't know. I think they all have their own appeal depending on who you are, and I like to keep my mind open in that way. So I definitely listen to a lot of different artists.
Yeah, totally. Listening to the song we're actually going to go into next, so this is perfect. That Cigarette song has a ton of character. We're going to move on to that now. A favorite of mine, That Cigarette song.
fill my lungs with tar and death until I'm wheezing out of breath. I find them in the sidewalk cracks. Sometimes I smoke them back to back. They taste so bad, they taste so good. I'm gonna quit, mom says I should. Then I bump some yuppies off the street. I'll smoke them till I have no teeth. I'd win medals, smoking was a sport. Virginia Slims, menthol Newports. It's so damn hard to try to quit. Always feeding for another hit. The filters fill with fiberglass. Make my clothes all smell like ass. I always bump, never pay until that fateful, frightful day. I never litter, aside from butts. I'll have cancer in my lungs and nuts. I say I'm done, smoke one more. I'm big tobacco's little whore. I smoke them cause I'm really dumb. I've tried the vapes, I've tried the gum. I've seen the scary TV ads. Your life say burning one ain't that bad. I wish I wasn't so goddamn keen for that formaldehyde and nicotine. Never again, I always pledge. Just one more to take off the edge. I'm gonna quit this time for real. No matter how good they make me feel. I'll quit right now, hope I'm not too late. Cause I wanna live past 38.
That was the cigarette song, and what a song it is. I love how you use humor and are just so blatant about what it's like to be hooked. The inner turmoil is so intriguing and kind of tragically funny to listen to. It's hard to put into words, but man, I'd love to see this one live. And I mean, on the topic of performing, I'd like to know, are there any dream venues on your bucket list that you'd love to play at least once in your life?
Oh man, that's a good one. So I guess I'm like the more low key, or not. I take that back. I guess like for maybe more local venues, I've always wanted to play at Leo and Leona's. I've done like, they have a singer songwriter circle there. I've done that, but I've never actually performed there. So that's always been an ambition of mine. Also, I've always wanted to at some point play at Moon Tunes, which is it's a concert that they hold on a weekly basis in the Crosse on, I believe it's Thursday nights at Riverside. And I've always wanted to play at it because I think it's kind of like one of those staple venues where, like, I guess the people who are accepting the community and you know, I've kind of played around a little bit. It seems like that's the spot where they eventually get to play. So I'd say that. I definitely want to play at like Riverfest and like Oktoberfest someday. Those ones are definitely on my mind. But yeah, that's a good question. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. We'll go on to our next song. Up next is No Security. Let's hear it.
That's just life, it's always been that way. There ain't no security from here to the grave. That's just life, it's always been that way. You're doing well. I hope you're passing in school. I hope that you never sell the parts of you that can't be replaced. I hope you find a place for yourself. It's hard these days, but most of all, I know it can be tough. Please tell yourself that you are enough. There ain't no security from here to the grave. That's just life, it's always been that way. There There ain't no security from here to the grave. That's just life, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. There ain't no security from here to the grave. That's just life, it's always been that way.
That was No Security by Unicycle Michael, who is here with us to talk about his most recent album, Dancing Around. Now, looking forward to the future, what kind of aspirations do you have, not only for your musical career, but also for some of that art you were talking about?
Yeah, so right now I'm currently working on some music to be released, and I don't want to get too deep into that because, like I said before, I like to keep things a surprise. Totally. So I just kind of I'll leave that at that. Mm-hmm. I guess for my art, I think what's cool about like visual art for me is I think with music sometimes I get real like go getter, do it, get it done. Mm-hmm. And I think with art, like visual art, like specifically painting, I like how it's not like that where when I paint, I think a lot of it's just about putting that brush down and doing the process more than accomplishing anything really. Mm-hmm. I think the accomplishing kind of just comes along the way no matter what. But yeah, I think they're a little different in that way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I'd say the biggest difference.
Yeah. Just so we can get you out there, where can people find out about where you are performing next and listen to your music?
Yeah, that's a great question. You could follow me on Facebook. I have a music page that is under the name Unicycle Michael. I also have my band on Facebook, and we're called Unicycle Michael and the Zaz. Mm-hmm. And then also I have accounts for both those on Instagram, and my Instagram handle is at unicycle_Michael, and then our band is at Unicycle Michael and the Zaz. So those are our handles. So yeah, you can check us out on there. Also too, not so much on the show dates, but I have like music videos and other content on YouTube as well. So that's all under Unicycle Michael, or the actual handle is at Driftless Personality for that. So
Awesome. Thank you. Well,
thank you.
Michael, that's all I have for you tonight. Let me say it has been a huge pleasure and an honor to speak to you. I have a lot of respect for what you're doing, and I truly wish you all the best in the future. Thank you so much, again, for talking with me and sharing with our listeners.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Now for the final track. Where Do We Go? Be sure to listen to his album, Dancing Around, on all major platforms, and check out his Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You're gonna want to see this. Unicycle Michael.
Look outside, the weather's changed. Look inside, oh, and I'm changing. Look at the sky. Where do we go when we die? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Look outside, the weather's changed. Look inside, oh, and I'm changing. Look at the sky. Where do we go when we die? I just don't know. I just don't know. Don't wanna know.
lost the door. You're down, I know that I was created by you.
A huge thanks to Unicycle Michael for joining us on The Sound tonight. For those of you still listening, I hope you enjoyed his music just as much as I did. And thank you, really, for listening in with us. For more deep dives into local and regional albums, tune into The Sound every Wednesday night at 6, right here on 89.5 KQAL. For links to podcasts of The Sound and other KQAL original programming, go to kqal.org or tap our app.
Theme music for The Sound provided by Mike Terrell of Fires of Denmark.